CEO, wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder that can teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black on firm, but we ain't all black.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your girl Constance Carter. Guess what, you guys? I'm coming to you live and direct from Harlem, NYC, USA, baby. Yes, I'm traveling right now, you guys. I am in Harlem, New York City, New York, in one of the boroughs of New York, and I'm excited to be here. I absolutely had to come on here tonight though, because I have been waiting. I got a special treat for you guys. So as you guys come on in, have a seat, get comfortable. Okay, because I have a special treat that I have been waiting for a year to do this interview today, and you will not be disappointed. Okay, what's up, everybody? Hey, Dual. Hey, who's that? Cosmic Honey. So, you guys, listen. I'm excited. But as you come in and make yourself comfortable, I want you to put in the chat where you're from, what part of the world you're from, because I know we have people that chime in from all over the world. We have people that chime in from Africa and Europe and France and Chicago and New York. If you in Harlem, holla at me, y'all. I'm out here for a couple more days before I go to DC. Be out in DC for a few days, then I go home, and then I'll be traveling again. So I'm just out here in these streets, just having a good time. But put in the comments where you from. I see who is that? Harmony Columbus in the house. Okay, that's what's up. Hey, Victoria is from Memphis, Tennessee. I see Monica from Adams, Tennessee. What's up, B1 all day, every day? I like that bass on there. What is that? What kind of bass is that? Is that a Music Man bass? I have a Music Man bass kind of like that. Chio Pace, NYC. I'm out in your neck of the woods, Chio. What's happening? Buffalo, New York in the house. What's up, Khalid? Y'all going too fast. Atlanta. Okay, you sell Tupperware. That's what's up. What's up, Paris? Nama is tuning in from NYC. What's up, Nama? I'm in Harlem. So hit me up, y'all. I see Tim Calisipi from Gulfport, Mississippi. Shakita from Illinois. Tammy Lee from Queens. Who is that? Quee from Shreveport. What's up, Mike from Baton Rouge? Y'all are in the house. Listen, yes, yay. So nice to have you here. I am so happy to be here. We've been having a good time. We've been eating all this good food, doing all this good walking. It's hot out here, and we've been having a good time. What's up, Sean from New Orleans? Yeah, that's that Marcus Miller signature. Okay, 5-string. That's what's up. All right, I love Marcus Miller. I'm a bass player also. I don't know if you knew I was a bass player. However, I have a treat for you guys, and I really want you guys to pay attention, okay? This is one I've been waiting on to do this interview for about a year. I've interviewed a lot of people. I've interviewed a lot of famous people, well-renowned people. She's one of my favorite people. She's one of my favorite folks in the whole wide world. She's actually one of my mentors and one of my coaches, and she has crossed the stage, many stages. Let me tell you something let me just put her picture up here real quick. My producer Charles isn't on here, so I'm working on everything. So this is Miss Linda Clemens. Does anybody know Linda Clemens? Let me tell you a little bit about her. She's from Indianapolis, Indiana, and she is a CEO of Sisterpreneur. Now, Sisterpreneur, she does these conferences a few times a year. I've been to a few of them. I've spoke at a few of the Sisterpreneur workshops and conferences, and they are absolutely phenomenal. She educates, she empowers female entrepreneurs. She's an award-winning, record-setting sales producer. And she's a body language expert, trained and certified in analytic interview and statement analysis. Oh my gosh. It's a process is used to detect deception. It's made Linda one of the top global sales trainers, assisting her clients in generating over $2 billion with the B, okay? $2 billion in sales. Now, she's trained for like Southwest Airlines, Coca-Cola, Spanx, Publix, Nielsen's, National Urban League, Marriott, Hilton, Wyndham, Wells Fargo. Do you hear me? Listen, I'm not talking about no small person. I'm talking about Miss Linda Clemens. She is a body language expert. She specializes in nonverbal communications, and we're going to talk about how to tell if people are lying. Not only lying in love. Don't you want to know if your partner is lying, but lying in business, in relationships, friendships. We're going to talk about it tonight. I'm gonna bring her on, but I'm gonna tell you a quick story about Miss Linda. Hey, Miss Linda.
Constance Carter, honey, you working harder.
Yes, girlfriend. Yes. So Linda, let me tell you about Linda. So Linda is one of the top. You're over the speakers for the Power Networking Conference, which is one of the largest conferences in the country, in the world. Actually, Forbes ranked the Power Networking Conference top 4 must-attend conferences in the world. Okay, and Linda is over the speakers. Linda is on the faculty for the Power Networking Conference. I had the privilege and the honor of volunteering for Miss Linda as she over the speakers, but she decided to do a little impromptu, talk in one of the conference rooms. I don't even think, were you doing actual, did you do, no, it was an overflow. It was something you had invited people back. Let me tell you about this lady. She made $30,000 in 30 minutes. Okay. Does anybody want to know how to make $30,000 in 30 minutes? Now, a lot of people can't make $30,000 in a year or half a year. This lady, Miss Linda Clemens, I watched her in action make $30,000 in 30 minutes just by talking to people. So she has this art about her. I was so smitten. I was volunteering for her. I even signed up. I said, I got to be a part of this. This is crazy. So I always talk about on the show how it's so important that you invest in yourself, that you invest in coaches and you invest in training. And I've been to trainings all over the country. And I said, listen, and I think it was $1,000 or something like that I ended up paying right there on the spot. I said, I don't care because I want to invest in me. And what I got out of the training was immeasurable. The money that I invested, I got back, 20 times back. So thank you, Miss Linda. I've seen you in action. I know you are the truth. As we have thousands of people that are watching tonight, I want to go ahead and have a conversation. And remember, guys, if you want to be a part of the conversation, you can jump on camera and ask Miss Linda some questions yourself. She will answer them. So I know how you guys like to interact with us. Make sure that you hop on here and let's talk about how to see if somebody's lying. So before we even start, I want to know, Miss Linda, how did you even start with nonverbal communication?
Well, first of all, Constance, thank you for having me on your show. And thank you for all the work that you are doing, being a powerful sister out there, empowering, enriching, educating people in the areas of their finance and building wealth, because we come from royalty. And so thank you for reminding folks that they are great. And I want to say, hello, family out there. Hello. Now, I've been doing nonverbal communication, trained by the best, for well over 40 years. And I know some of you out there looking, well over 40 years. Girlfriend, I thought you were about 18 or 21. But I've been doing it that long and having the opportunity to work with some of the greats in the industry. There used to be a show on the Fox network called Lie to Me. And I was trained by some of the people who the show was based off of. So being trained in analytical interviewing, but having a study in the area of the brain is the thing that's powerful for me. But here's the deal. It was when I was a youngster selling candy for a fundraiser at school that I began to realize that I had a special talent, if you will, or a gift for being able to see the invisible. Y'all write this down. See the invisible and hear the inaudible. What do you mean, Sister Linda? What do you mean by see the invisible and hear the inaudible? So Constance and I are friends, and Constance knows my energy. So if I come on the screen and Constance says, Linda, how are you today? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Well, I may be saying the words, but she's reading something else because the tone and the nonverbal are not matching. So when you're able to read those nonverbal cues, family, listen up. It can take your business to the next level. So I've been doing this for well over 40 years. I was country, but for country was cool, trained by the best. And I'm telling you, it has taken my business, my personal interactions to the highest level. Because you can be great in what you do, but if you can't connect with people, then people may not want to do business with you. And to the ladies out there are things that you can do where you become a people magnet. And the same thing for the men. Ooh, honey, and that's another hot workshop. We may have to do a retreat on that. Okay.
Wait. Let's talk about that. Okay, tell us, ladies, first, what can we do? What can we do?
So think about this. So this is for the ladies and somebody look at Jen and say, amen, sister. Amen, sister. So here's what I want you to think about. We as women, quite often, we are looking for the Prince Charming, if you will. You know what I'm saying? The Prince Charming. But nowadays, in this day and age, Prince Charming may be looking for Prince Charming, okay? But here's what happens. If you want to attract that ideal person, partner, spouse, or Boaz sisters, if you want to attract that one, you have to have some of those characteristics because like does attract like. Here's one. You remember the saying that says opposite attract? Because opposites sometimes can repel. When you talk about opposites, what we're talking about is that those talents and those gifts that you bring that are different rather than opposite. Because think about it. If you, for those of you, and I'm going to go a little biblical here, for those of you who are in relationships with someone that is, you're not evenly yoked, how long is that going to last? How long? Come on, Constance, right? How long is that going to last? But when you are dealing with someone, watch this. If you're going to play with someone, baby, now here's my motto. It may not be yours. You may be of a different generation. But baby, if I can't pray with you, I can't play with you. Oh my.
Or lay with you. Or lay with you. Come on.
Bang, 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 bang. Okay. If I have to shout myself, I'm going to do it, right? So understand, because what's going to happen, part of you or someone in there is going to have to compromise. And when you begin to compromise, you begin to give up a little piece of yourself. And Dawn, when you give up a little piece of yourself, then it's a little piece constant, then another little piece, then another little piece, then another little piece, then another little piece. Then when you give up all the pieces, then you have no peace.
Ooh. If you keep giving up the pieces,
then you have no peace. So you are worthy of having the right person in your life. And sometimes we are looking for love in all the wrong places. So sisters and brothers, talk to me. If you hear what I'm saying, send me a shout out. If it makes a difference, check this out. Everyone look at my face. Look at my face. I want you to look at my face. And to the men that are out there, I want you to look at my face. And we're going to talk about the communication theory. And the communication theory was done well over 50 years ago by Dr. Maharabi. And in his study, he said that our words are 7% of our communication. Come on, G-Love, y'all write that down. 7%. So if your words are 7% of your communication, Constance, here's the question I want to ask. Are the words that are coming out of your mouth, are they powerful or powerless? Are they poison? Are they potent? Are they passionate or are they passive? 7%, y'all. 38% of our communication is our tonality. Now help me out, y'all. Come on. There's a saying that goes, it's not what you say, but what, Constance?
How you say it?
How you say it. I'm going to do a remix. I got a millennial in the house because she taught me a few things. I'm going to do a remix. It's not just what you say and how you say it. It's what they hear.
Oh, okay. You're right about that.
Right.
Sometimes though, you could say something, but they hear something totally different. And how do you make somebody hear what it is that you're really trying to say?
Okay, well, I want everyone to listen very carefully. I want you to listen to this, and I want you to hear two cases, Constance. And okay. Come on, family, listen up. So watch this. If I said to you, listen, Constance, I saw Steve and Sandy at the mall the other day, and they were alone. So you're thinking case number one, big deal. But what if I did this? Same words, but changed the tone. I saw Steve and Sandy at the mall the other day, and they were alone. Same words. The next thing you know, somebody's starting a little rumor on the job. You know what? We should have never hired Steve. We should have never hired Sandy. We need to get rid of both of them. And then someone says, Ganama says, wait a minute. They brother and sisters. And the next thing you know, Smoketown said that's even worse. So here's what happened, all because of the tone. Now, why is that tone critical? Ladies, listen up. And fellows, come on, back me up, baby. You know, when you are dating that person, and ladies, you know, your tone is different because your tone is designed to reel your partner in. Okay. The tone can be soothing. The tone can be seductive. The tone is different. And then when we get involved in the relationship and sometimes venom gets in us, then the tone gets sharp like little razor blades. Are you okay? I'm fine. Are you sure? I'm fine. Oh my goodness, the tone is gone. And the next thing you know, the tone that left you, someone else may possess it. So 7% Constance words. 38, somebody, Gina said, girlfriend, you ain't never lied. Okay, 7% words, 38% tonality, and 55% of our entire communication is our nonverbal. So if our body language, so if you're adding the 55 and the 38, that's 93%. So I'm going to give you a soundbite, family. Listen up. Words, tone, nonverbal. If all three don't agree, then there's a disconnect in the message between you and me. So just imagine, if you're done in a relationship, and then he says, baby, do you want to work this out? Yeah, we could try to work it out. Do you believe me? No. So even if I don't say we can try, and you ask me, baby, do you want to work this out? And I go like this. See what happens? The body language overrules. And one of my favorite quotes is by Emerson. Listen up. See, Jen said, my hubby is constantly talking about my tone. Come on, y'all. So check this out. One of my favorite quotes is by Emerson. It goes like this. Y'all gonna love it. I cannot hear what you are saying because who you are being is getting in the way. I cannot hear what you are saying because who you are being is getting in the way. Now, guess what? You heard it saying, action speaks louder than the words. And if my grandmother was alive, Granny would say, child, I hear you talking, but I don't see you walking.
Okay, hold on. So Dr. Michelle been waiting. She wants to talk to us.
Dr. Michelle.
Bring Dr. Michelle on. Dr. Michelle, we want to see your face, lovely.
Beautiful face, sis. Can I see your face?
Where you at, Dr. Michelle?
Come on, baby. If someone's there that I can see their face, I would love it.
Dr. Michelle, we can't hear you. Dr. Michelle, we can hear you now. What's going on? What's your question, Miss Dr. Michelle? Yes.
Hey, Dr. Lemons, I'm so honored to be on your show and to hear you talk and learn from you. So, I'm from your generation. Yes, I am now a millennial. When I went to college and a Christian, my path was different. So, in that generation, we thought science and sororities and all these things were of the devil, right? So now I'm in a situation where we have that generation of Christians in my church. And I'm trying to help because we have a narcissist in control. And what the pandemic did was it revealed all the narcissists in leadership, right? And now it's difficult to remove them because why? There's no safety nets anymore. People aren't believing them. So it gave them a greater sense of control of the environment. What is the path? You can't diagnose, I understand that. What would be your point of view of the path to get that church back? Because we're in the middle of a split.
Sis, hold on, sis. Is there any way, sis, that I can see you? Can you come on the camera?
No, because I make it. It is my time. I didn't even know you guys.
That's and as Tabitha would say, that's your business. That's all right. Okay. Hold on, sis. Hold on. I need you to listen to me. Okay, so I'm listening to your voice, and so one of the things that you're going to have to do, of course, and you're in a church environment, you have to be honor and respectful of the leadership. I don't know what your role in the church. I don't know what the role. I'm sorry.
I am the leadership.
You okay? So I'm going to go from higher up. Are you the pastor?
I am the pastor's girlfriend.
Okay. All right. So, okay, there's a whole nother situation there. So I want you to listen to me very carefully, sis. And I wish I can see you, but I want you to listen very, 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 very carefully. One of the things that I want you to be aware of is your tonality. Okay. And your tone and first of all, can I share with you, sister? May I have permission to share?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. So two things I need you to work on. Number one, your patience in trying to change things. Number two, and the individual who needs to take leadership in changing it. That starts from the head, and the head is the shepherd of the church. You are the girlfriend of the pastor, and I'm just saying, from your vocal tone, I can hear the spirit of battle. And let me tell you why I say the spirit of battle, because you want to make that change quickly. You want to get it done. And what happens is people feel that energy that's emanating from you. And because you are in a position being the pastor's girlfriend, you have a different kind of rank that others may not have. So one of the things that I would suggest that you do, and I want you to really think about this before, when we're saying narcissists, and that's and there are psychological attributes that qualify us to say that, if you will. So before we do that, be careful how we prejudge someone here, sis, in our head. Because the moment that it's on the mind, it comes out in the matter. So what I'm saying is, the moment that you're thinking about someone, that they're negative or the energy that is not positive and they're causing problems, they can see it in your eyes in a flash. And once it comes out in the mind, it comes out in the eyes, and it also comes out on the tone, whether you're wearing a mask or not. The word person, persona, means mask. It's Latin. It means mask. So before we even, it means mask.
Can I give you background? So my doctorate is human behavior. Yes, that's my doctorate. My profession was a profiler, right? So I understand everything you're saying, and I'm taking notes.
Because I'm a profiler too. I'm a profiler too. So sis, so let me just, so sis,
so what I'm trying to say is, what he has done, this is a long-standing situation. He gave me the authority to take over because he is an empath. Narcissists are attracted to empaths. Now, I have not diagnosed her as a narcissist, but narcissistic traits, right? So because he's an empath and he's a gentle man, he has all the qualities of being just so gentle, passive kind of. He's given me the authority as the woman to deal with the woman and not the church member, just her. Just her. So I took in what you said. I thank you so much. I'm going to get off and I'm going to let you keep talking.
Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis.
Thank you again.
So, and sis, and you can understand, and Constance, you understand where I'm coming from. Mm-hmm. You can get more cooperation with the right tone. I have friends that say to me, they'll tell me something that's happened, and I'll say, oh, sounds like it's still kind of there with you. Oh, no, I'm just going through it. Lots of times the tone we give when we relay it is the tone that we're feeling as if we are living it in the moment. So when people say to me like, oh, I wouldn't do that if I was right, that I was there. You will do that. So understand that there may be some other dynamics that are going on, and it's going to take a little bit of time to kind of unwrap that, if you will. But sister knows, she knows what she needs to do. She just has to make the commitment to do it.
See, the thing about it is, and I appreciate you coming on, Dr. Michelle, it sounded like you wanted the advice, but then it sounded like you didn't want the advice. You were kind of battling the advice. So I'm not sure what you were really trying to get here, because it didn't seem like she really wanted to receive what you was giving her. She asked you a question, you gave it to her, and then she said, well, no, here are my expertise, and this is what I do. And so she tried to take the power and the authority away from you as the expert, because she's telling you, I'm an expert too. But then all you're trying to do is help her to be able to navigate, because that's what she asked you, but it doesn't sound like she was really receptive to it.
Okay.
So you got to be receptive, right? And it all goes back to the tone, but it's like she's battling you. So can you imagine what she was doing at the church?
That's my point, Constance, because you may think you're just saying it now. What you do now is what you're doing then.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good point. But thank you, Doc. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for coming on. So anybody else who wants to come on the show, go ahead and click the link right here to be a part of the show. Ask Dr. Linda any questions that you have, because we're going to talk about how to tell somebody's line, how to really read somebody's body language. And listen, you are listening to the Fly Nubian Queen, the station for melanated people just like you. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share, and you follow Fly Nubian Queen. Make sure you subscribe to Nobody Works Harder Than Constance Carter. And guess what? You can find Dr. Linda Clemens on Instagram at I am Linda Clemens. No, I'm sorry. At Linda Clemens. At Linda Clemens. You can go to her website, lindaclemens.com. You can follow her everywhere on Facebook. She is world renowned. So for those of you just joining us, and I know we have thousands of people on here right now, for those of you who are just joining us, we are talking to Miss Linda Clemens, body language expert, and she's talking to us. Really, she's putting us up on some game. Now, for those of you who just got here, I shared in the beginning how I've seen Miss Linda make $30,000 in a matter of 30 minutes. Like that. I was so inspired that I went ahead and signed up for a program too. And it paid in dividends. The reason why I'm here before you right now is because of some of the training that I've gotten from from Miss Linda Clemens, and the things that she shared in how to speak and how to talk in sound bites. I remember all the things. They are in every time I learn something, they are in the notes of my phone, and I can always go back to the notes. And everything that I learned from you, Miss Linda, is right here in my phone.
Good student.
Yes. I do want to share though your video, if you don't mind. I'd like to share.
Please go ahead, please.
So when I saw this video, it really inspired me, and it kind of really covers what Miss Linda does. So just give me a second. Let me go ahead and share how to tell if somebody is lying. Ooh, this is good, y'all. This is good. Real quick. All right.
The face and the hands. Back in the Roman era, they would keep weapons under their hands, like come in peace. Right. If a police officer stops you, I don't care where you are in the world, the first thing they're going to say to you, let me see your hands. Show your hands. Show me your hands. Show us your hands. So the purpose of the hands is to show honesty and authenticity. Look, if I accuse someone in this room, everyone in this room, I had some money on this table. Who took my money? And if I accused you, if I accuse all of you, if you didn't take the money, automatically your instinct will go like this. I didn't do it. As for me, it's not in my hands. But what if you did this? Hands come down. What money? Oh my gosh, it shouldn't even be a question because I can't see your hands. Now let me tell you about their hands. How many of you outside this wonderful, wonderful forum, how many of you have watched TED Talks before? Because you're constantly learning and transforming. So let me give you a little information. Your top TED Talk presenters, and I'm talking about the ones with the millions and millions of views in that 18-minute span period, use hand gestures over 422 times. Because when we see your hands, you're showing authenticity. Now, let me give you another inside tip. Unless you, because my friends use me as a lie detector, right? Wow. Unless you are a sociopath, psychopath, okay? And you could be a habitual liar. I'm gonna give you a little tip. It's very difficult for an extended period of time for someone who is being deceptive or lying to keep their palms exposed, because it contradicts what the brain is saying. You're lying. And there's another little tip about someone who's being deceptive. So if I ask you, so tell me the story, what happened at 12 o'clock on February the 12th? It was in the morning, what happened? And this is what you're doing. This is what I do when I'm doing jury selection and I'm working with organizations and CEOs, and I'm asking questions, and the person who's being deceptive is going like this. Okay, it was on February the 12th, it's 12 o'clock. They're really still. The reason why they're still, because they practice the words, but not the gestures. Who says, ooh, when I get to this part of the story, let me go like I'm getting deep. Who says, let's do this? Who says, let's practice this? Who says, and then when the doors, they don't do that. They only practice the words. So watch this as you're telling me what happened. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to say to you. So, and I watch this, I'm going to go like this. Okay. Now watch, you notice that I exhale. Okay, I heard your side of the story. Guess what takes place? I exhale deliberately, because when I exhale, he or she exhales. You know why? Because they are feeling she bought my story. The moment that you exhale, it allows me to go in deeper for the line of questioning. So after I exhale, you thought I believed you because you were telling the story quickly, because you were thinking as you go along, and then all of a sudden I go like this. Okay, so that's it in stories. Thank you so very much. I exhaled, that I saw you exhale, and that told me something, right? Now watch this. Here's the kicker. I said, I want to make sure that I got everything right. I don't want to miss anything, Katie. I don't want to miss anything. So let's take it from the end. The moment I say, let's take the story from the end, the person who's being deceptive is like this, like a deer in headlights. They're in a part of their amygdala, their brain, the freeze fight flight, like, oh crap. because they liars and people who are being deceptive do not remember the story backwards.
Lord Jesus, you just put us up on some game. Are you serious? Are you serious?
Now think that concept. It makes sense, right?
Yes, it really does. How do you do that? How do you do that? People are saying I talk with my hands. People think I have an attitude because of my eyes, but I can't help it. Somebody else said, looking into the eyes is like looking into the soul.
Ooh.
Jen and Spall said, I always talk with my hands.
Jen, listen. I'm getting some feedback. Make sure it's not me. Okay, listen. If you talk, I talk with my hands. Constance, we talk with our hands. When you're doing presentations, always remember this. When you're using your hands, move with purpose. Move with purpose. And when you're using your hands, here's what I've noticed, that if lots of times when people get a little excited, like you tell a little kid, guess where you're going to go? Mommy's going to surprise you. Daddy's going to surprise you. We're taking you to Disney. What do the kids do? Yay. You know, when you get excited, you got something to tell me you're excited about. Girl, I can't wait to tell you. And the thing is, when you raise your hands, you also raise the energy. When you bring your hands down, the energy goes low. And do you know, people who are clinically depressed, they often do not raise their hands in the air, like they just don't care, because it raises your energy. So think about that. If you are a speaker, if you are negotiating, you're doing a presentation, you're trying to move the room, you're trying to capture them, your hands are very, very critical, but move and accentuate and punctuate with purpose. Notice that my hands are in cadence with my vocal tone and my words, as opposed to I'm tired of everybody blaming me, and you're going like that, honey. You done told a lot right there. I'll say, hey, Constance, is everything okay? Why is everybody asking me? Whoa. See, lots of times you don't have to say a word. Just asking the right question can trigger the rest of the story. And so I watch the hands, I watch the palms, I watch, like, if we're all having a meeting and all hands are on deck, and then all of a sudden I says, okay, we've had a little thing here. We want everybody to pitch in. Such and such had a car wreck and he had no insurance. We need everybody to pitch in. The person that doesn't want to give the money, their hands will come off the table. I don't know money. And they'll probably start folding their hands up. And some of you folks, when the plate comes around at church, you know what you do. Oh, I'm just sorry. I stepped on somebody's toes. I'm sorry. But you see what I mean? So It's little things. Now, Constance, can I give them a quick course? Can I give them a little quick crash course?
Absolutely. And I want to just say this really quick, Linda, before we do that. I've seen you in action. I mean, I've been around you a lot, right?
Well, you did a great videotates of me. You got that video.
I do.
One of the best.
Yes. You know what? Somebody is wants to jump on in a minute. So PF,
okay. Yes.
We're gonna let them jump on in a minute. I'm gonna let her do a quick little workshop for us. But I wanted to just share with you all that I was actually I was at a sisterpreneur conference, had brought my girlfriend with me. My girlfriend was there, had no idea she was going through anything, no idea. She's with me. We sharing, we roommates, we hang out. Linda sees her and immediately was able to tell everything that she was going through. I was like, for real? I had no idea. But you were able to do all that just by looking at her and being in her presence for maybe 5 minutes. It was unbelievable. It was mind blowing. So
you remember she told us she came back to the other conference, to the PNC conference, looking for me. Mm-hmm. She says, whatever Linda Clemens is selling, I'm buying.
Yes, I'm buying. Yes. But let's do a workshop. PFP, we're gonna get to you in a second. Wait in the wings. Make sure you turn on your camera. We'd like to see you, because I see that he's in the green room, but his camera is not connected. So PFP, make sure you connect your camera, because when Linda talks to you, she wants to see your body language. She wants to see your face.
I want to see my family. So we're going to give you a little quick crash course. We already talked about the communication theory: 7% words, 38% tonality, 55% nonverbal communication, right? And quite often, now the 7%, I want you to think about that. What happens if you're speaking to someone in another language? Oh my gosh, and you don't speak the language. There goes that 7%. So now all you have to rely on is the 38% and the nonverbal. Have you ever been in a situation that you didn't speak the native language, but you could tell if somebody was angry? So like if they were in the market, constant their tone, their expressions on their face, you can tell. So be aware of that. So one of the things, I'm going to give you 3 C's. There are normally 4 C's that I like to give, and there's some bonus stuff, but it depends how good you are. I love constants, but it depends on how good you are if I'll give you the 4th C. So in reading nonverbal, the first thing you want to do is to know a person's baseline. So everybody write that down. Someone put it in the chat. Baseline. Think of baseball, baseline. So if you know a person's baseline, what does that mean, Linda? It's who they are under normal circumstance without any stress. So for example, I'll say to Constance, I was at that party and, Candy or Shirley or Denisha, they act like, and Kevin act like they weren't even thinking about me. I was talking to Kevin and he didn't even look at me in the face. And Constance says, Linda, it's not you, honey. That's Kevin. That's how he is with everyone. Well, I don't know Kevin's baseline. I just met Kevin. See, it takes 4 to 7 seconds to make that good first impression. So my impression of Kevin, that he was very disconnected, he wasn't even thinking about me until I went to Constance and says, yo, what's up with Kevin? And explained the situation. And she said, that's just Kevin. Now, why is baseline important? How many of you out there, family, have children? Come on, show of hands. How many of you been a child before? That's everybody. So I got you, right? Got you right there. So here's what happens. Let's say that you have a child that comes home from school every day. Same routine, takes the little backpack off, maybe tosses it down, goes to the refrigerator, gets something to drink or eat, then goes play video games or go to the computer, whatever that may be. And this child does this all the time. Then all of a sudden, Monday, he does it Monday, does it Tuesday, does it Wednesday. Then all of a sudden, come Thursday, Mikey didn't do it. First thing you go, he comes in the house, goes straight to his room, shuts the door. Friday, the same thing happens. Then all of a sudden, he's not even coming out of the room on Saturday. When he does, he goes in and goes back. First of all, he's out of baseline. You know that. You know when your husband, your wife, your partner, you know their baseline to the point you can almost read their movements. You can almost say, I know what you're thinking. We're watching this. You're thinking the same thing, right? You know their movements. So when they're out of baseline, you know something's up. There could be discomfort, dis-ease, not necessarily deception, but something's out of order. So the first thing you want to do is get to know a person's baseline. That's why if you're in sales, if you're entrepreneurs out there, you're in business, you're negotiating, you're trying to make a great first impression, that's why we build rapport, to get people comfortable, Constance, to know their baseline. You get them comfortable. When you do a great introduction, you get them comfortable. So here's the thing. So now we got the baseline. So once you know the baseline, the first C is to read nonverbals in clusters. Constance did a wonderful sister introduction for me. What if I came on the screen and did like this? Thank you so much for inviting me, Constance. Now, because my arms are folded, you may prejudge me and think, I don't know where Constance found her, but she's a little closed off. But what if you turned off the screen and you left and someone else continued to watch and they said, oh my gosh, later on, oh, we enjoyed Linda. She was so fun, so open. And you say, I didn't think she was open. She came on the screen with her arms folded. Well, you left because you missed these 2 movements. Watch this. I started this way and you're looking like, oh, she's closed off. Then all of a sudden I'm going like this, Constance. And then my niece brings me a sweater or a scarf. Oh my gosh, Linda was cold. She was cold, but we prejudged her on the first movement. Oh, how many times? I just don't like the way it looks. I don't like how many times we've done this before off the first movement. So in reading nonverbals, family, make sure you read them in clusters. First C. The second C is to make sure you have congruency. Clusters, congruency. Make sure it's congruent. What, Linda, what are you talking about? Remember I said to you earlier, if the words and the tone and the nonverbal, if all 3 don't agree, then there's a disconnect in the message between you and me. So if I'm looking at Kevin and Kevin, watch my face, watch my head. Kevin, you know I really love you. You know I really do. The words. See, look at Constance shaking her head already. The words, you know I really love you. Yeah, we could try to make this work. Really? No. She's not really in it. And that's why you're looking at someone says, something's not up. I heard what she said. I heard what he said. I heard her talking, but the body wouldn't walk it. Uh-oh. So now we read it in clusters. Look at Constance doing the shift. So the context. Listen, we got the clusters, we got the congruency, and your next C is context. Making sure it's in the right context. So when I used to watch videotape of shoo poo department stores, when you have the heavy shoplifting rings, I'm looking for context. So if someone was to walk in, of course, in a very, very nice department store, and let's say they're walking in the trench coat, we know what the boosters would have because the large pockets would be under there. But check this out. So when they would send me the videotape, I'll say, hold on a minute. And I'll see them coming in the store, and maybe others may have coats on as well, but that stands out. But the thing that I would ask is, on what day of the week was this, and what was the temperature? Because let's say that you're coming in with a coat and the temperature was 80 degrees. That's out of context. Let's say we're all going to Europe next year. We're going to go hang out with Constance next year, and all of us are ready. And the next thing you know, one person comes to the airport. We all ready. We got our bags, Constance designer down, and I got my client down, all this kind of stuff. And then one person comes up and they have no baggage. And we're going on a flight that's 10 hours. They have no baggage and they have no check-in bags. Out of context. If it was 80 degrees here in Indianapolis, what if I got on the screen, even though it's in the evening, in a full-length fur coat, be it real fur or faux fur, it's out of context. So that's the thing. You're looking at clusters, congruency, and context. Should I give them the fourth C?
Please. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I need to hear it. I need somebody to put it in the chat. I just can't have a Constance being the only one excited about it. Some of y'all better put in the chat if you want the fourth C. Because I could take my fourth C with me.
Tell me if you want to hear the fourth C, please.
Tell me. I want somebody to say, give me the fourth C. Give me the fourth C. Somebody tell me. I'm breaking it down. Come on, y'all. Do y'all want the fourth C? They don't want it, Constance.
Please.
Dr. Constance, I'll text it to you because I'm not hearing from anybody. I'm not seeing in the chat. Okay, now I'm going to please. Okay. Joseph, come on. Okay.
And now I'm gonna say you want the fourth.
Okay, just say, well, we want the fourth C. Okay,
okay. Cat Core said, okay,
they're coming in the fourth C.
Look at they on the edge of their seat. Give me the fourth C. Give me the fourth C.
Give it to me.
Give it to me. Look at. Give it to me.
The fourth C is culture. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. You want to fit in and not stand out because you may get arrested. You may do something that's offensive. So just to give you a little thing what we call emblems. When you see people do this, we're number one, peace. And in the United States, this means A-OK, but in different parts of the world, it's very offensive. As a matter of fact, a former president actually got off the plane. The late Richard Nixon stepped off the plane and he did like this and they started booing him because what this emblem meant that another man was having sexual relations with your wife. If I was in the UK and I'm sharing a secret with Constance and I go like this, that means keep it between us. But if I was in Italy and I did like this to Constance, that means you're in trouble. So understand hand gestures mean different things in different parts of the world. In Asian cultures, particularly Japanese cultures, in the United States, we look at each other in the eye because we says, okay, eye contact 65% of the time is acceptable. When people don't look at us in the eye, we think, they must be doing something wrong, a little deceptive. Where in Japan, that could be deemed disrespectful. They look at the area right here around the neck area because direct contact could be deemed disrespectful. And different parts of the world, Latin cultures, they're more tactile, kinesthetic. Whereas if you're in London, Britain, a little bit more different. So be aware that if you're going to be global, my brothers and sisters, you need to know what the culture is all about and the signals and the signs and everything. That's if you're going to take your business to the next level. Why is this important? This pandemic's going to be around for a minute. And thank goodness many of us were able to pivot. Look, she's able to come to you and reach all of you through technology virtually. But how many times that we are doing things and not realizing that our body language is not just our body, it's also our background, the colors that we wear. all of these send messages. So just imagine if you had, I got a case with a client before, I won't mention the name, being respectful. They brought me on to do a presentation to be able to help their team be powerful in their virtual presentations. And one of the guys, been with the company for a long time, he felt that his sales were being impacted had a great impact on the sales because he couldn't be in the little Starbucks or the cafe area face to face. He says, this doggone, this virtual thing and this Zoom thing doesn't work for me. And he said, I lost one of my long-term clients. And I said to him, wow, I hate to hear that. So now I was looking at the back screen of the room that he was in, and I asked him, and I'm going to change the name. I'm going to say, hey, Mark, can I ask you this? When you do your virtual sales presentations, is that the room that you're doing them in? Watch my eyebrows. I'm doing certain things I want you to learn. Is that the room that you're doing it in? What if I did like this? Mark, is that the room that you're doing it in? Just for me doing my eyebrows like this, can you see the battle? Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, we're ready to fight. That's primitive. Right. We're ready to fight. So I said, are you using that room? He says, yeah, this is my man cave. And this is what I said to him. I said, wow, look like that on the wall there. Is that an M16 and an M22? And he said, oh my God, were you in the military? I said, I was in ROTC in high school and I was a sharpshooter and all this kind of stuff. But I recognized that. And I said, okay, I digressed a little bit. Can you tell me? What do you think happened with your client? Did anything happen during the pandemic that perhaps impact their lifestyle or anything in their family? And the blood left his face. The reason why, because his client had a family member, innocent bystander, that was killed in a drive-by shooting, innocent bystander. So guess what happened? This is the same salesperson he's had for years now, but the background, when he saw those rifles, the guns, and all of that, it changed his whole viewpoint of the individual. You see what because your background, think about all that. Because people look and they judge. So you want to be able to, when you're doing your presentations, those of you out there listening now, if you're doing them on virtual, you're not meeting face to face, you want to make sure that you want to make an impact and not distract.
Come on, somebody, make an impact and not distract. I'm gonna put that in the comments. So we have somebody that's waiting to talk to the other person.
Okay.
I'm waiting on Don. Don actually has his video on, so I'm gonna wait till he gets back in his chair. There he is. He just got back in his chair. There he is. Hey, Don.
Hey, Don.
Hey,
how are you?
How you doing, brother?
Well,
hey, brother.
I'm blessed to be in the presence of two powerful sisters.
Amen.
Thank you.
You know, and you know the channel, The Fly Nubian Queens. I'm trying to put something together, and I'm gonna be talking to Phil because a lot of what I'm trying to do is gonna bounce out of Houston. It's just like everybody's in Houston. It just appears that way. But at any rate, this I've never heard of this power summit. I'm going, where? Huh?
What? Tell them about the Power Networking Conference.
Have you ever heard of Dr. George Frazier? Because George has been in Houston several times.
I'm not in Houston. I'm in San Francisco, California.
Okay, well, so here's what I want you to look up.
Okay.
I want you to look up Fraser Net, FRASER net, net.com, because the conference is coming up in August. It's going to be virtual.
I just looked at it. I'm like,
yes, powerful. You want to be with us.
I'm trying to figure out how I can get there, because you know how this society treats its best and brightest that are melanated.
Well, you can get there because this year is going to be virtual. Then we're going to be live again in Houston. We'll be in Houston in 22. But this year to be virtual. Just go online. You can get there.
I got it in already. I was thinking about flying and all this other stuff.
You don't have to do that, baby. You can just click and you're there.
It's virtual. It's virtual. I've been going since 2013, Mr. Don, and it has literally changed my business. You are networking with a lot of like-minded individuals, millionaires, billionaires, and it'll definitely get you on track to where you need to be for sure.
That is exactly
all your melanated brothers and sisters that are going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Do y'all remember they used to have the Black Expos?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you about the Black Expo. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. Our Black Expo is going on this weekend. Indianapolis, Indiana is the grandfather, the granddad of all Black expos, the oldest and largest. As a matter of fact, started here the Chicago group came here, even many of the big conferences learned how to do the expo coming to Indianapolis. It's the oldest and largest, celebrating 50 years.
Right. And then what about Sisterpreneur? When you coming back?
So Sister, what do you say, Constance?
Sisterpreneur. When is Sisterpreneur coming back?
Well, here's the deal. Sisterpreneur, our conferences, we've been doing our conferences during the entire time of the pandemic. Safe, respectful. We had an awesome mitigation plan to make sure that everyone was safe. Honey, we didn't miss a beat. We've been hanging all during the pandemic. Having fun.
Nice.
I've been an entrepreneur since I was 14 years old. I started getting a W-2 when I was 14 years old. And when I say I was an entrepreneur when I was 14 years old, I had a legitimate business. And I was working. And I was going to high school. And I was maintaining a grade point average.
Go ahead on.
No wonder, your brother's got all the degrees and none of the money.
Well, that's a whole nother show, brother.
That's a whole nother show, brother. But thank you for coming and saying hello. We appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Miss Linda, you just tracked all the great ones. Thank you, Mr. Brown, for coming on.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And if you want to be a part of the show, go ahead and click the link while we have this gym on with us tonight. Now, if you guys are just tuning in, we know people are coming in. Y'all still coming in from all over the world. We have Miss Linda Clemens here, who is a body language expert, and she just dropped a whole bunch of bombs on us. Just blew all of our minds. Now, before you came on here, I started doing my own research on body language, and what I looked up, or what I pulled up, was I read somewhere that people blink less when they lie. Is that true?
That's true. That's true. It's when they get a little nervous, their blink rate begins to increase. So that happened with Richard Nixon. And you'll see that even with children and your spouse or significant other. But also you got to remember, make sure you know their baseline, because they can have dry eye. So there could be some other things that are going on. So once you know their baseline, you're having a conversation with them. And then all of a sudden you say, I heard, or whatever you challenge them with, and their eyes will start blinking. And then the other thing is that you want to be aware of is that when people are getting a little bit nervous, if you will, they may start what we call pacifiers or self-touch gestures. So self-touch gestures, they may do something like this, or mess with their hair, or men may get hot under the collar. So they're trying to soothe themselves because the heat is on, if you will. Right. And lots of times if I'm doing something with interviewing suspects, if you will, I always like to offer them some water, and I'd like to set the water far away from them. Okay. And the reason why I do that, so that it gives me a chance that if I say something or ask a question and they constantly reach for the water, because when you start to get nervous, or you may be saying something that may not be the truth, or you may be holding information, lots of times the mouth will get dry as well.
Yes. What's up with that? But what about, because sometimes you could be telling the truth, but then when you think that somebody don't believe you, then that also you will have the same reaction when you're telling the truth, but you think that the person doesn't believe you, and then and you start to look guilty. What about those people?
Well, the thing is, the truth is the truth is the truth. You could be looking guilty, but you may not be necessarily guilty, that you may be uncomfortable in sharing the information, because the truth is the truth is the truth. And the way you'll know it is that the person's words and their nonverbal will be congruent. So if someone says, well, watch my hands, it was real big. Well, this is not big. This is big. You see? Mm-hmm. So everything will be congruent. Now, your subconscious mind, the amygdala, the part of the brain, is not going to go down with you. It's not going to lie. It's part of your truth brain. It's designed to tell the truth. So if you are trying to pretend that you like someone and your brain knows that you don't, then you're not going to even touch them. We don't touch people we don't like. We don't touch people we don't like. We just don't touch them, because our brain is going into that protective mode. Now, just think about if someone sat beside you on the plane and they were may not be appear pleasing to you, or something could be offensive to you. Guess what you do unconsciously? If they're sit right beside you in that open seat, not a reserved seat, if they sit right beside you, you go like this, away from them.
Right.
We move away from things that repel us, or that we're trying to, that we don't trust, and we move towards things that we like and have a curiosity. So let's say someone came in, sat down, fine chocolate, better than Godiva's chocolate, sit right next to you, and you'll say hi. You ought to consciously lean right towards them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Automatically. So be aware of all those different things, from the eyes, the throat, but know the person's baseline. Lots of times when we're watching, I did one of the Black networks talking about the George Floyd situation and the police officer and all of that. I always like to ask, when I'm looking at people who are doing testimony, particular men and women of color, I want to know, what time did what time did the testimony start?
Why?
I want to know what time this testimony start. Okay, am I interrogating this person at 9 o'clock in the morning? So if it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and then you're showing me a videotape, several tapes, and the last tape, and I'm seeing you going like this, to me, that's not 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to ask, this tape that you're showing me, what time is it? How long was this individual being interrogated? And what time is this particular meeting again? What happens if the person is just defeated?
Mm-hmm.
Just defeated. So you may look at that and says, well, it would look like you did it. The person, I just give up. Did you do it?
Mm.
See, so we often prejudge and not know the whole context of what was going on. What time was it? When was it? What just happened? You know, did anything trigger someone? It's just like someone says, did you hear them? Did you hear them? Did you hear them talking? And the person's like this. They might have just got off the phone and was told someone in their family committed suicide, and you can't understand. So write this down, for every emotion, there's a story attached to it.
Mm.
I know families taking notes. Any comments, any questions?
Yes. Hold on. I wanted to put that in there. So there's a couple of questions on here. Somebody says, do people yawn when they lie? I think it was.
I saw that. Not necessarily so. They may yawn because they're bored with what you're talking about, and they may be yawning because of dismissal.
Right.
You ever heard, okay, think about this when somebody's in a meeting. Yeah, think about this. Someone's in a meeting, and there's always that one person that always has something to say all the time. And you'll see somebody go like this. Okay, sometimes we're doing that because we're bored, tired, or dismissal. And dismissal is if, like, you have a woman leader that's leading, and then you have a lot of men that may be in that meeting that may be chauvinistic or biased. They may yawn. They may do those things. So watch, make sure you read it in clusters. So don't judge someone off the first yawn.
All right. So Monica said, how about shifting your eyes, looking up or to the right?
Okay, so when people are talking about shifting eyes and all of that, lots of times they're talking about a program called like NLP, a practice called NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. So when you say shifting your eyes, looking up to the right, most people who, when you ask them, so tell me, let's paint a picture. Imagine you on the beach. Tell me your favorite vacation. Tell me where you were. Well, they're automatically going up into their visual part of the brain to bring you the picture. So that doesn't mean they're lying. They're going into the visual. When someone tells you a secret, if Constance was here and she said, girl, this is so juicy, I got to tell you, and she whispers in my ear, I'm not going to look up. I'm going to look side to side, and I'm going to go into the auditory realm. So that doesn't mean that they're lying. If you ask them a question, let me think about that. They're pulling the data down. So y'all get to know the baseline. Otherwise, you prejudge it.
All right, Tanya's online. Let's bring Tanya on here. Well, Tanya, it looks like you need to connect your mic before we can add you. So connect your mic. Once your mic is connected, then we can add you to the stream. So Tanya, connect your mic. Let me see. Do we have any? Oh, Tanya dropped off. Let's see. Well, maybe she'll come back on. Maybe she's having technical difficulties. So I have another question because I was taking notes. Fidgeting. What about people who fidget while they're while you're interrogating them?
Okay, number one, they could be fidgeting because they're under a lot of stress, right? A lot of stress. The heat is on, or they're nervous, or they're trying to withhold something. So that's why the line of question is very critical. And the timing, write this down as well, the timing as to when it happens, when they start fidgeting. So let's just say we're all sitting here at the table and I'm just excited about what you're going to serve. Okay, can you pass the mashed potatoes? I'm not supposed to have them, but can you pass the mashed potatoes and all this? And I'm just sitting here, I'm excited. No, so now is this fidgeting or I'm excited to eat? But what happens if I'm sitting here and I'm thinking and I'm telling you about what happened? So let me tell you about this friend of yours. Okay, I'm thinking that your friend is out of town, that she went to the airport to catch the plane. So I'm just telling you this, and you'll say, "Oh my Linda, guess what? She missed her plane, so she's coming back here. She's gonna catch a flight in the morning." Now I done told a whole bunch of stuff. Am I gonna be fidgeting? I'm gonna be a nervous wreck. Say when she comes in, I'm gonna say, "Linda, what is wrong with you?" You see what happened? So the timing of when it happens.
All right, Harmony Stalling says, do people not pay attention to the combo because they're just not into you?
Well, but some people have a short attention span as well. You've seen people like that, right? They have their short attention span that sometimes you got to get the message to them really quickly. You got to be straight to the point. They're just anxious like that. But many times if they're having a conversation and they're looking away, they may not be into you, baby.
All right, Don P.
If I'm looking at shiny objects over here, then what's in front of me may be dull.
Shots fired. Don P says, sis, talk about the direction of the eyes and explain the placement in their quadrants when they're in what space where the person is mentally.
So once again, when we talk about, for those of you who are studying NLP, I don't study NLP. So I'm just going to tell you.
So NLP is
neuro-linguistic programming, okay? And neuro-linguistic programming, if you study Dr. Milton Ericksonian, a lot of the work originated from him, where Bandler took the work and it came up with a program called NLP. So people talk, look up right, look up to the left. Most people who are mourning or sad or retrieving their thoughts, they'll look down to the right. Think about it. When if someone shares something with you that they just lost a loved one, what do? We don't go like this. Oh, I'm so sorry. We go like this. We go into the emotional realm. I'm so sorry. So these are things that are natural. You're aware of that. But the key is knowing the person's baseline so that you won't get a misread or have your biases come across. I remember growing up, and I don't know, some of you may be the same way. If you brought a little boyfriend at home or you want to introduce him to your granny or someone, my granny would say, I don't know, something about him. I said, what is the granny? It's his eyes. Well, granny, he got two of them. I don't like it. Something about them eyes. So it was that thing that they were giving off, that energy, or the person being uncomfortable or something that's going on. So when you are looking at a person and you're getting to know them, you're building rapport, getting them relaxed, then you notice that when they're relaxed, then they'll start talking to you in conversational tone.
Yeah.
Talking to you, just a nice, you could have a nice flow and cadence. Then all of a sudden, perhaps you ask a question that made them uncomfortable. Then you may see thigh cleansing. So lots of times we see thigh cleansing. And thigh cleansing, particularly you'll see it when someone who's on the jury stand, because you can't see half of their communication. Everybody take their hands and just stroke their thighs. That's thigh cleansing. Have you ever seen that happen? When someone getting a little nervous? Mm-hmm. So if I'm asking you a specific question, I says, look, all I know is someone stole this or someone did this, whatever that. Do you know anything about it? Now, what if you're protecting your girl or your boy and you do know something about it? And you know something, and I'll say to you, did you see anything? As soon as I say, did you see anything, you'll look away. Okay?
I didn't see it.
Didn't see it. See, look, see, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Look at you. I didn't see it. Why can't you just look at me and tell me, Linda, I didn't see it? I don't know what's going on. See, look at my hands. Linda, I didn't see it. As opposed, I didn't see it. Because you're still seeing it. And what Constance just did, you looked away. I didn't see it. See no evil. Okay? Did you hear what they were saying? Did you hear what was going on? You heard the doorbell ring. There was a shot. There was a noise. Did you hear it? And you know what was going on. You knew what Lucius was going to do. You knew that he was going to go over there. You knew what he was going to do. I said, now, Constance, did you hear anything? Constance is going to go like this. I didn't hear nothing. See, you see that? And now, see, and you're laughing, Constance, because you've seen it before, right? Now, as I'm doing this, all this is coming back to you. Says, OMG. This may, so all these things have been in front of us. We just weren't aware, right? So watch this. Watch this. There's another one. Right. See no evil. What? What's the other one? Hear no evil. What's the other one? Right. Okay. So have you ever been in a situation, y'all? Come on. I mean, I hope it ain't just me in my older days when I was under the blood, okay, before the blood, right? Have you ever been in a situation where somebody just in the room, they just are talking. They just are talking. Say my little niece, Michaela, they all just are talking and they're doing this. And you just wait. When she comes in here, honey, when she gets back from vacation, I'm going to give her and him a piece of my mind. And then all of a sudden people start saying stuff and you throwing your little 2 cents in because you big and bad because the big man ain't here now. You big and bad now. So you just are talking and you saying all these things. Then the person walks in the room. First of all, the blood leaves your face because you want to run. The person walks in the room and somebody said, did I hear somebody call my name? How many times you see people go like this? I won't be saying nothing, be covering their mouth, right? They do that. They do that unconsciously. There was a president that got in trouble with a little blue dress, and they do that unconsciously where they put their hand to the mouth. And that means you're trying to withhold information. So just watching little signs and nonverbal cues, it's like watching a never-ending movie. I like to take some of my master students to the courtroom, to the mall, to the airport, give them a list of things to watch for. Tell me if someone that just got in an argument. Tell me if someone is lucky to be there in love, loving to be together. Tell me if someone is about to get into an argument with the waiter. Tell me what takes place. Ever been at a restaurant table, Constance, and when that bill comes, everybody's looking at the menu, they're leaning in. But when that bill comes, and you see body language changes. So that's a wonderful place to look, observe, and you'll see all kinds of things.
Wow. Somebody else had a question. Let me go back up there. What was her question?
How much time do we have? I
know you got to go in a little bit. I'm gonna let you go.
Because to get better understanding. What about when you are asking questions to get a better understanding and the person gets defensive and step back with a guarded tone? That right there tells you a lot. So you have put yourself in a spot, in an area that was sacred to them, and you hit a nerve. My grandmother used to say, you step on a dog's tail, he gonna yell, he gonna bark, right? So you hit a nerve, as opposed of given a situation says, what are your thoughts on this? If someone works for a job, they work, been a job a long time, and they use some of the supplies at their job to start their own business. What do you think about that? Do you think that's the right thing to do? What are your thoughts on that? So I'm not accusing the person, but I'm putting them in the position because I heard about that. They may be the one that's doing it, but I'm positioning in the way says, look, I heard that you are using company property to run your own business. Is that true? Now they're going to be in the defense automatically, as opposed to, Constance, what are your thoughts on this? It's kind of a little debate. What are your thoughts on this? That if you're here at work and they got some extra copy paper or extra do you think it's right or wrong to use company's property for your own business? You see what I just did? And then you watch how the person reacts. Because if you go at them, you could shut them down, right? If you go at them, ladies, if you go at your spouses, you could shut them down. Because men are doing real good. And then you watch how the person reacts.
Amin, I'm gonna take you out really quick. Can you mute? Can you turn close that other tab where you hear Miss Linda talking? That way we won't get feedback, and we're gonna bring you back on the stream. Amin,
because did that make sense, sweetheart? You think yeah. And then when you accuse someone, you shut them down.
Yeah, but sometimes you can. Because somebody has a preconception lenses, however they preconceive you to be, whatever you say, they're going to take it as negativity.
Absolutely, but you already know that.
Right.
You already know that. And then, of course, one thing I used to do with little kids all the time is the watch for the conscious bow. So for example, Constance, I know, we've been friends for a while, and it's been nice working here at the company. And I know of all the people that stood up for me, I know you were one of the people that stood up. I know the other ones went in there, they were saying all this stuff, but let's say that you were the ringleader, Constance, and I'm saying this to you, And you know, I'm saying all this positive stuff about you. And I said, Constance, I know that you wouldn't do that to me because you're a girl. Guess what you're going to do unconsciously?
Oh,
That's the conscious bow, because your conscious, Constance, is bowing you.
Wow.
But if they laugh, if they ask you a question, if you ask a question, that could be another, what we call nervous, it could be a nervous deflection. Like, oh yeah, because they're trying to think of the information.
Wow. You guys are listening to Miss Linda Clemens right here. Linda, where can they find you?
They could find me on my website, lindaclemens.com, LinkedIn at Linda Clemens, and also Instagram at Linda Clemens.
All right, Miss Linda. So the young lady who was on here who got caught off guard a little bit.
That was so funny. She did like this. You see how she went into hiding. She went into hiding.
we wanted her on here, but looks like she's having some technical difficulties. But Miss Linda, this was absolutely fabulous. People are like, this was probably one of the best shows that I have seen ever. People are subscribing to Fly Nubian Queen. People are subscribing to Nobody Works Harder Than Constance Carter. People are following. Go to Instagram and follow Miss Linda at Linda Clemens on IG. When'd you get your IG up? Because I know, listen.
Constance, let me tell you, I was hacked 4 times. And I was thinking, I said, yeah, my niece, it was like, oh.
Let me tell you how dope Linda is. Linda Clemens has Sisterpreneur, which she does, 3 times a year, 4 times a year, right? No social media advertisement. Big sponsors, Toyota, Uggs, Gucci, sponsors her events. Packed house with no social media advertisement. None.
And we've been doing it for this is our 43rd year.
In Indianapolis, that's middle America. It's not like she's doing it in Atlanta. It's not like she's doing it in Houston or in DC. In Indianapolis, people come to Indianapolis, go to Sisterpreneur. I've been to several of them. It is absolutely fantastic, fabulous. When's the next Sisterpreneur, and how can they
It is September the 10th, 11th, and 12th. So just hit me up. Just hit me up. And let me know if you're interested in coming, sisters. And Constance will tell you. My niece loves your book, by the way. She loves your book.
Which one?
The credit book. The credit book.
All right.
She's running to try to go get it. She's so excited.
Yes. In fact, one of the Sisterpreneurs, Linda gave it to all of the guests as a gift, and so it was so cool. I go places, and people are like, "I got your book," and a lot of it is because they got my book at Sisterpreneur. So thank you so much. Thank you for always supporting me and putting me on at Power Networking Conference. I had a breakout session, my first breakout session. It was packed. People were all out the doors trying to get in my breakout. I didn't even have a prime time spot, but it was because of the opportunity that Miss Linda gave me at the Power Networking Conference. And if you have not heard of the Power Networking Conference, it'll be virtual this year in August. But make sure, I always say, if you want to change your life, get in the room. You need to be where other people are. You do not need to be the smartest person in your circle. You need to be where other smart people are so that you can learn and glean from them. I've learned all my business from being in rooms such as a Power Networking Conference. Dr. George Fraser is a brilliant mind of the 21st century. He's one of my mentors and people I really look up to. Linda Clemens is a mentor and a woman that I really look up to, who's been in the game 40 years and is sought after. Let me tell you about all the people that Linda works with. Okay, I'm gonna go through the list real quick. Southwest Airlines, Coca-Cola, Spanx, Publix, Nielsen's, Urban League, Nestle, MGM, Major League Baseball, Wells Fargo,
Louis Vuitton.
Hello, Louis Vuitton, U.S. Customs, the FBI, Marriott, Hilton, Wyndham, Starwood, Odyssey, Microsoft, Aramark, Google, Blank Rome LLP. I'm not talking to nobody, no little peon. Okay, this lady is sought after, well renowned. Every time I talk to her, she's somewhere in another. Oh, I just got off a plane. Oh, Constance, I was just over here. Oh, I was just in California. Oh, you didn't come see me, huh, Linda? I was just over here. I'm jet setting all over the world, doing the work that she did on here, and we just got a little glimpse. So if you didn't see it, make sure you rewind it and watch it again, and make sure you share this because this is information that everybody needs to hear. Linda Clemens is the truth, you guys.
Is it Dillamon? It was a Dillamon.
She looks good too. Yes. And she looks good. Yes. And she looks good. Yes.
Looks good.
At 40 years, I thought she was only 40, baby.
I love it, baby. I love it.
So make sure you guys, if you can get to Sisterpreneur in September 12th, 13th, and 14th, hit up Linda. Where, on Instagram or on Facebook? How do they hit you up, Miss Linda?
They can hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, right, Michaela? And love LinkedIn, because a lot of my clients and friends are there on LinkedIn. Love LinkedIn. And just go to my website, lindaclements.com.
Okay. And if they want to hire you for speaking, if they want, because you also coach and you have
you can request in that section there. Absolutely.
What about
oh, and listen, Constance, I'm working on something special, so I may have to come back to your group. Can't tell you right now. So look at this.
What? Tell me.
I can't, because it's still in negotiation. I can't tell. It's so good. It's so good.
Oh my God. You got any other trainings or classes coming up for speakers?
You know what? You're like the 50th person that said you got to do a speaker training. So we're looking to do that maybe the last quarter or the beginning of the year, because we're trying to see what's going on with this Delta strain, so that everyone is comfortable. But all of our events have been really, really safe, and we take care of them. And Constance, you know, we feed you well.
Oh, yes.
You have never been fed and loved well. We take care of our people. So, yeah, we got to do something together.
Yes, Best Hotels. I attribute, Linda Clements. She taught me how to talk in sound bites. She taught me how to speak. Yeah. Yes. Linda Clements, George Fraser, Lisa Nichols. These are all the people that I look up to and that have poured into me as they can do to you too as well. So you guys, if you want to
thanks, Angel. Thank you.
Make sure that you follow her on Linda Clements on Instagram. Thank you, Miss Linda, for joining us tonight. We love you. We appreciate you. And no other programs, huh? I just want to make sure that I covered everything.
No, covered everything. Everybody, let's hug. I want to give everybody a hug.
Love you, Linda.
Love you.